Hey you, it's Jess here and welcome to another Plan With Me and to my channel. This week is the last Plan With Me for my 2025 planner. I'm going to do New Year's Eve week in my new one, but this is my Caress Press inserts and I'm doing December 22nd through the 28th. This is Christmas week. I am technically atheist, but obviously culturally Christian, so I do celebrate somewhat overall in the sort of commercial sense, I guess, and just sort of enjoying the, I don't know, the holiday spirit of giving and kindness and compassion. So I do still like to celebrate it overall. This week I'm using my, this was exclusive art for Scribble Prints Co. Merry Movie Marathon, and it was kind of perfect for this week because we ended up watching, without even planning it, we ended up watching a bunch of Christmas movies. So you'll see that during, including old ones obviously and a new one to us. So we can talk about that coming up. I'm going to do my usual color blocking, and I'm using a Champagne Lights. This is sort of like a glittery, spritzy foil bundle from SPC, but as I did with all of my Christmas spreads for 2025, I did it pretty minimally. I just have the bows on the bottom washi and the bougie boxes, and we'll also bring in the foil icons and some of the scripts. But I did think Champagne Lace was just a really fun choice for this. We've definitely got like that sort of warm, like those warm yellow light feelings throughout the set, and I just think it went really well. It was so hard to pick full boxes for this spread, so I just, because there was just so many that I wanted to use. So I ended up ditching putting a box and a checklist in the sidebar, because really I don't need it for this week. So I just did I did 4 full boxes on the sidebar just to get my fill and be able to use all the ones that I really wanted to use. Still didn't really get to use all of them, but here we are. I love the way it came out in the end and the colors, and I can't wait to finish up and do the day by day. So let's do that now. Okay, so what do we say on the last spread of 2025? It's Coffee Monday. We gotta do the Coffee Monday. So we have Coffee Monday, and then Planmas obviously was still going through the 25th. So, but we've finished all the Plan With Me. So this week we have a haul, which you would have seen last week the previous week of December. I had finally gotten some Happy Mail in that I needed to be able to do the rest of these videos. So of course we got the haul going up first, and then I did a whole bunch of voiceover work on videos. Because I did, like, I set up my Infinity Nikki journal, and I also set up my reading journal, and of course they took a long time to film and then a long time to do voiceovers for them as well. So I was still really much working on these videos as they were coming up. So voiceovers, and then luckily right before the mail stopped, I got the best Happy Mail of all, underpants. So I should probably explain this a bit, but basically when I lived in Australia, before I left, I had found the perfect underpants for me. Perfect underpants, you know, they were comfortable, they covered everything, they didn't ride up anywhere, because I'm sure you know all about the struggles of underpants. And as someone who is technically plus size and has a larger caboose, underpants are really hard to get, especially at a good price, I will say. And basically, since I moved up here, it's been impossible. I've spent so much money on bad underpants, like expensive ones, cheap ones from H&M. I was kind of just living off them for a long time. And then finally, the couple of weeks previous to this, my last perfect underpants from Australia died. They were from Kmart, and yes, Australia still has Kmart, and it's actually better than Target because Australia also has a Target. It's not the same as American Target, but Kmart is like the king. And they had the best underpants, okay? And they were like fully cotton, like, yeah, super good. So my last pair finally died. because I've been here for what, like 8 years now, so I got my money out of them, to be honest. And I was just like, I am crashing out because my H&M ones suck. I'm just sick of it. So I ended up looking like, I'm gonna go in Kmart's online shop. And we had to VPN it. It was just like, you don't live in Australia, so you can't look at Kmart. I'm like, okay, we'll just use a VPN. So using a VPN, I was able to buy a whole bunch of my underpants. They weren't the same exact ones, so I wasn't 100% sure, but they're very similar, and I got them in like the size I usually get them, and I bought like a whole bunch, like bulk bought them, and I mailed them to my dad, because obviously you can't shop on there at all outside of Australia, so of course they're not going to ship to me. So I mailed them to my dad, and then my dad mailed them all to me. And this is the day that I got them. They finally got here. I had to tell customs it's a gift order of underpants, but anyway, I got my big pile of underpants. I basically bought like double that I would want, and I opened it. They came in like packs, so I opened them up, tried them on. They were perfect. I'm so happy. And I left half of them like unpacked, and I put them away in my closet. So once I worn these ones through that I'm wearing, I have a whole like new set. Look, I'm dedicated, okay? I need to be comfortable. So yeah, this was the happy day of my new underpants arriving, and they were perfect. And I have a bunch of backups, all safe and unused. So I'm very happy. They're also much cuter. All of my H&M ones are just black, and they weren't right. I didn't like them. And these new ones that I got, they're all like different patterns and colors, and they have little bows on them. I'm so happy. Anyway, so this was like the best Christmas present ever. Underpants. So I got those. Before they came in, I went out and went to the chemist to get all my medications. And this day I cooked bulk cooked a whole bunch of pancakes. So we had a bunch of pancakes that I put into the freezer so we could reheat them for any time. And then we also watched some more Ghosts because we needed to catch up on episodes that we missed. Alright, so that was Monday. And then Tuesday, it was obviously Christmas Eve or Festivus for the rest of us. I'm not using red, duh. Anyway, my brain's not working. So Tuesday, I had my daily planner setup go up, so I got a Hobonichi for the very first time. So I obviously set that all up, and if you watched it, you knew I had some issues. I wasn't 100% happy with it at the end, but we got there in the end, you guys. I'm really happy overall. Obviously, I've been using it every day since January 1st, and I've been loving it. I wasn't sure because I'd usually used a spiral bound, so I could have like just the daily page open, but having both pages open has been fine. And yeah, I've been loving using the Hobonichi. Let me know if you want an update video on the Hobo. It's very practical. I don't really do any decoration otherwise in it, but I can let you know how I've been using it if you are interested. But otherwise, yeah, that was the video for the day. And then I also called my dad, obviously to thank him for sending the underpants, but also to have the Christmas catch-up kind of call. And I baked banana bread. And I've been using the Sally's Baking Addiction recipe for banana bread, and I highly recommend it. It's so good, so delish. And then a big thing that happened this day is we got our groceries delivered. I think I'm actually just going to use a chubby little thing for groceries. Obviously all of the Christmas stuff. And we did leave it a little bit late, but that's okay. It all came through in the end. So everything we would need for the coming week arrived, which was great. So groceries delivered. And then we did, finally, once they came in, we basically went straight into our pre-cooking because we just had a lot of food that we kind of plan around, like our meals have a specific meat or protein or like a centerpiece that we have, and then we basically pre-roast or pre-cook a bunch of vegetables and sides. So when we have the meals, we can just reheat them and add them to the meal. So, you know, we roast carrots and parsnips and Brussels sprouts and potatoes and I can't remember. We had all sorts of vegetables. We had like green beans. We had all the vegetables that we can, all the sides. We kind of prepped them. We had cauliflower as well. Yeah, just cooked everything in their own sort of recipes. We end up buying those tin foil roasting trays. And we buy ones that come with like a takeaway lid. So we bake it all in those and then we let them cool and then we put the takeaway lid, the cardboard lid on top and close it up and then we just keep those in the fridge. Just label them and so when a meal comes we just pull out some of the roast veg and other things and then we put it back in the fridge. And then we can just, we recycle the foil afterwards. We just wash it and recycle it in the metals. And it's just so good. It saves so much hassle. I know there's only 2 of us, but we tend to we kind of make it a week-long thing of Christmas for food. Like a week-long set of nice things to eat. So yeah, we just find that really works. And doesn't make too much mess or leave too much cleaning or having to own too many things. Like glass containers to keep stuff in the fridge or roasting tins or anything. So that's my tip. Use tinfoil roasting tins with lids, so you can cook and keep them. And we just microwave them on our plates for reheating. So super delish. So we did a bunch of batch cooking this day, and then we were also watching Christmas TV. So TV episodes. We're watching Christmas episodes of those. We watched some Simpsons. What other Christmas stuff did we watch? I know. Whenever has a Christmas episode, we tend to just watch a couple of those. And then I was playing The Sims this night. A rare day of playing The Sims. But yes, that's what we'll do on the 23rd. So then we have Christmas Eve, the 24th, which is a proper holiday here. So, you know, you're on your own for the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. So, on that day, I had my Infinity Nikki journal set up, which was nice. And then I played the Animal Crossing Toy Day event, which is really cute. I like how it's on Christmas Eve. This is the proper Christmas day in Finland. They do celebrate on Christmas Eve properly. And then you kind of get 2 days afterwards of just relaxing. We're still in Australia, it's Christmas Day, not Christmas Eve, so we're still kind of in that mindset. But so I played Toy Day, and then we did a bunch of cooking and baking. Just had to add on more that we did previously, and yeah, so just cooking and baking all the things. All right, we were making a trifle. That's what we had for our dessert again. We've done it like the past 2 years, and one of my Planmas is I actually cook it for you. So I think it might have been 2024's Planmas. I cooked the trifle in a cooking vlog if you want to watch that. Because I had to bake a cake for it. We had to make the custard from scratch. We made the jelly or jello from scratch. So there's a lot to put into the trifle making. And then once we'd done all we needed to do and we started chilling out, we watched some movies. I'm gonna put one on the bottom here. And then food. Just make sure I have room for all of these. So the first movie we watched is my favorite Christmas movie, actually overall, which is Arthur Christmas. I don't know, to me I just really enjoy it. It's made by the same people who did Wallace and Gromit, but it is computer 3D instead of, it's not claymation. But I love Arthur Christmas, and all the main actor is James McAvoy in it, and he's just great. So Arthur Christmas. And then we watched Home Alone. I only watch Home Alone 1, to be honest. I love Home Alone 1, so watch that. And then we had carbonara for dinner, because the other year we watched The Holiday, and both of the characters in that have carbonara for Christmas Eve. And I was like, is that a thing? It's just a thing in the movie. But now we're like, let's have carbonara for Christmas Eve dinner. So we made carbonara, and then we watched a new Christmas movie to us, It's a Wonderful Life. And I know it's like a super classic. I feel like I was reading stuff about it afterwards, and everyone's like, it's one of the best movies ever made. And I'll be honest, I'm wondering if it's that's a bit nostalgia, because it was fine. It's a Wonderful Life. I was mostly shocked about how socialist it was. I was like, this is an American favorite, and I just feel like a lot of people don't learn from what actually is that film is about. There's some really cool socialist stuff in there. The way he does loans and builds homes, you know, for especially immigrant people. So I enjoyed that fact of it. But overall, I was just like, okay. I don't know. I was like, I feel like I've heard a lot about it being really about how, you know, he sees what it's like if he didn't live. And that's like a 2-second blip in the film. And I don't feel like it did much. The main thing we really enjoyed was the references that we understood from The Simpsons. Because in The Simpsons, there's like a scene where they go, it's in Bill's house, Ted's house. And it's like, Ted, why do you have my money? So it was kind of funny to see like those scenes were like exact that were in The Simpsons. But anyway, we finally watched It's a Wonderful Life. We also accidentally watched the colorized version. I knew it was supposed to be black and white, and we're like, oh, it's color. But then by the time we finished the film, the color didn't really, it was fine. But yeah, I don't know, I was kind of like, okay. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing, maybe it's being American thing, I don't know. But it was just alright, so I apologize. I don't mean to offend you if you love It's a Wonderful Life. I was just like, I don't think I'd watch it again, to be honest. I don't know. It was fine. But that was our Christmas Eve. Doing a whole bunch of cooking, and then had a simple spaghetti meal for dinner. So that was the first half of the week. Now let's get into Christmas Day. I decided this year not to like label the days, because it's like, it's pretty obvious what day it is. I don't know. I didn't think I needed to take up space with a script that said Christmas on or Christmas Eve. Because I have a lot of stuff to cover, you know. So on Christmas, obviously we had pretty much done all of our reading. I'm going to see how much I want to put in here. I could probably fit this, and then we'll put, I like how Christmas is green. It's just like a special day in the middle. That's like the nice thing about color blocking and having something like this on the Thursday, because it like really highlights the holiday, the main day. But I had a video go up, and it was my reading journal set up the last day of Planmas. And then I played some Animal Crossing in the morning. And then we watched The Santa Claus. It's one of our next film. And we had a cheese platter for lunch, which was really yum. Our cheese platter with some of the meats. We ended up having so much cheese and meat that we had like a charcuterie board like through the rest of the week. But it was really, really tasty. But yeah, I've The Santa Claus is one of my favorite from childhood kind of films. Arthur Christmas is a lot more newer, so it's like more of an adult kind of favorite. Whereas, yeah, Santa Claus, Home Alone, you know, favorites from childhood. And then, I'm just going to put this in a big box, because why not? At the bottom here. I ended up having plenty of space. So then we also had hot chocolates this day. And for dinner, we had roast chicken, just a simple roast chicken with all of our sides that we had pre-cooked and just heated up and had with it. As well as, obviously, we had our trifle for dessert. And then our last Christmas film for the day, we watched Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know, I just felt like watching that one again, because I really love Christmas Carol overall. So we watched the Muppet Christmas Carol this year. I think it was last year that we watched it for the first time. It's like, I don't like, it's not like my fave, but I do really enjoy it, you know. I love Rizzo and, what's his name? Who plays Charles Dickens. Those are my favorites in the film. Especially just the scene where Rizzo kisses his nose. I'm like, okay, mwah. It just makes me laugh every time. So Muppets Christmas Carol. And that was our day. Mostly like eating and watching movies and just watching TV probably as well. Just lazing about. Having a relaxing day. So then Friday, obviously, I did not have a video up because Planmas was over. And I did give myself an actual break instead of like just continuing on with videos because it was a lot. You know, you saw the previous week I was filming up right to the end. So I definitely needed a break from that. So I was playing Animal Crossing in the morning. And even though it was Boxing Day and an actual holiday day, I did end up working on this day because I had things I had to do. And that's the fun of being an artist, I guess, and a business owner. I had to work on Boxing Day, but it was important work to get done. And then I played some Infinity Nikki. And then for our Christmassy meal this day, we had turkey roll. And it was fine. I don't think we'll do turkey roll again in the future, but hey, you know, we're just trying something different. We've had turkey rolls before, like in Australia, but this one just didn't really hit the spot. In Australia, Locke's mum would always order like proper meat from a butcher, and so we're always included in the sort of meat order. So it's always just a bit nicer than this is just grocery store stuff. But we had turkey roll, and then we watched the new episode of Fallout, and then we cooked a minestrone. So we kind of were going back to our normal food, but we cooked a minestrone soup during the day in the slow cooker. Alright then, on Saturday, again, some more Animal Crossing. Still play it every morning. And then we just put on the TV some Nintendo Talk, because we both like to watch Nintendo Talk. And we ended up getting KFC. Is this? I think, yeah. About this time, a KFC actually opened in our delivery area. Previously, it was like, yeah, like on the other side of the city. And now it's like within range of us. So we have a much closer KFC now, which is very bad for us. But plus the whole thing is like in Japan, you have KFC for Christmas. It's like this weird modern tradition. And in fact, we actually spent one of our Christmases in Japan one year. And we ended up getting KFC that day. So it's kind of a throwback to have KFC at Christmas. It feels right as weebs. But yes, that was the morning. KFC. And then, yeah, it's Saturday, but I did more work. Because sometimes you just gotta work. Did work, and while I was working, I was watching some Rochella streams, because she was playing Animal Crossing at this time. And actually, I think maybe I was watching her play Pokemon, like the new Pokemon game. Because I'm not going to play it, but I enjoyed watching her play. So I was watching Rochella, and then I just ended the night with some Infinity Nikki. Alright, and the very last day for this 2025 planner, I can't believe it. We, again, Animal Crossing in the morning. Then we did a bunch of laundry. And then we actually started watching a new show, which we'd never watched before, which was the original Twilight Zone. So the Twilight Zone from the 50s, in black and white, with Rod Serling. I don't know, we're just like intrigued to watch the Twilight Zone. So we started watching Twilight Zone this day. I think we finished season 1, and then season 2 is just not as good. I don't know. Yeah, obviously it's like, it's old, so a lot of like the shocking stuff was kind of like, oh yeah. We've obviously now seen it a ton in TV and books and movies, but it was still really fun to watch. And the first episode actually is shot really coolly. Like the director was just made some really cool, interesting light and direction choices just in the first episode. So enjoyed that. But yeah, we were watching Twilight Zone for a while. Twilight Zone with doing laundry. And then I actually played some Sims. Which I'll put in. Played the Sims. I'll put a thing at the bottom. I got plan at the bottom here. I think I was working on, you know, planning for the new year kind of thing. So I played some Sims and we had noodle story delivery for dinner. We were like, we'd eaten a lot of food and then we're kind of burnt out on cooking. So, you know, we had some delivery here and there. We obviously had also minestrone soup. But for dinner this day we had a noodle story and then I finished off the day with planning. So that is the finished second half of the week. All done. I can't believe it. We've now completed my 2025 planner. But let me put it in the planner and we'll finish off the video. Okay, here's the finished spread. As you can see, I still have the last week in here, but I'm just going to leave this. I could tape it up, I guess. I might tape it up after this, just to leave it here, because I don't really feel like doing this week twice, and it is in the other planner. So we'll get into the new planner very, very soon. But that is the finished spread and the week of Christmas. Yeah, I love the way the spread came out. It's one of my favorite Christmas spreads, I think, actually. I've had some bummers before, namely 2018. It was my first, I was in Australia, it was my first like couple of weeks that I had been in Finland, and I didn't have any like lighting set up, and it just turned out terrible. But anyway, I love the way this one turned out, and I love how the kit just turned out perfect for what we ended up doing, because I had chosen this kit to use before Christmas week. I then kind of forgotten about it, but we ended up watching so many movies. 5 Christmas movies here, as well as some Christmas TV. So I was pretty happy with that. This was kind of our week. Lots of eating and watching TV and movies. But yeah, it was a good week and a good Christmas. It was very chill. We had lots of delicious food, did lots of cooking, lots of baking. The pancakes turned out really, really well. It was a really good batch. Of course, I got my underpants, my ultimate Christmas gift. And then Locke got me for Christmas a €25 Steam gift card for Gamies, which I recently used, but we'll talk about that in the next Plan With Me's as we go forward. Because obviously 2026 will have to be next. But I'll probably do a flip through of 2025, probably separate it into 2 6-month blocks because it gets very long. But I'll do flip throughs and we'll do a January kit lineup, and then we'll get into 2026. But I hope you enjoyed this Plan With Me. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm sorry, it's a Christmas theme. Where I live, it's snowing. It's super Christmassy, and it wasn't like snowing around this time at all. So it's more Christmassy now than it was for me back here, but because we got the snow in January basically, and still like super thick snow. Yeah, because I'm watching the snow fly around the air right now outside of my window. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for sticking with my channel. I think I was just really, really tired from Planmas. You know, I did 25 videos, and this whole week was done the previous week. So it was a lot to get done, and I just really needed a break. But we're finally getting into it. So let me know in the comment what you thought. Maybe put down, obviously, some Christmas emojis, the same as last Plan With Me, but hey, it's the same theme. Let me know what you did on Christmas. Did you have a good week? I hope you did. If you celebrate, if you don't, hope you had a good week anyway. I mean, I don't really celebrate it either, but other than culturally. But yeah, let me know what you did this week, and hopefully you had a really good one. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.